Welcome back, everyone. Let's cover that $2,000 stimulus check. Biden has confirmed that we will be getting those larger checks. We're also going to cover payment dates for that $300 unemployment boost, and we'll recap how to make sure you get that $600 stimulus check. So let's get right into it. But before we do, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. I post updates almost daily. I'd also like to thank my sponsor, Webull. They've partnered with me to provide free stocks for my viewers valued up to $1,600. So if you'd like to get that, just click the link in the description. Once you do, make sure you open an account and then click on the green button that says Get Free Stocks. Okay, guys, let's jump right into it. Joe Biden has said that he not only wants to pass $2,000 stimulus checks, another unemployment boost as part of a massive stimulus package, but he actually wants to approve 2 stimulus bills to boost the economy and create more jobs. As most of us know, the hardest hit people in this economy have been those who make less money to begin with, and Joe Biden highlighted this today in his tweets. He said, "For the most inequitable economic and jobs crisis in modern history, my jobs team will help us build back better with an economy that works for all Americans. Let's get to work." See, highlight the fact that he said inequitable economic and jobs crisis. He's pointing out the fact that those who make less money have been hit the hardest, and he wants to help those people the most. And he said, an economy that works for all Americans, not just the millionaires and billionaires. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree with Biden. But the point is here that he not only wants to pass another stimulus package, he wants to approve a second spending bill to stimulate the economy by specifically creating jobs. But we'll get into that in just a minute. I want to highlight the fact that job growth has actually been going down once again. Obviously, it plummeted in April with the pandemic, and then it's been slowly getting better. We pretty much flattened out in November, and December was the first month where we actually had a decrease in job growth. We actually had job loss. So on the chart on your screen, on your left-hand side, you'll see we hit a rock bottom in April, and things slowly crept up and up and up until December, where we lost over 100,000 jobs. So this is why Biden is focused, laser focused on helping people specifically who are unemployed. But let's talk about first payment dates for that $300 unemployment boost. And I just want to reference the fact that Joe Biden has promised that he will approve a massive $600 per week unemployment boost, and his official proposal is set to come out later this week. So don't forget to subscribe. I will keep you posted as soon as his proposal is put in place this week. But let's talk about these payment dates for every single state in regards to that $300 unemployment boost, and then we're going to cover those $2,000 stimulus checks and when we should receive those as well. So Alabama, they began paying on January 6th. Alaska have not begun paying yet. Arizona began paying January 3rd. Arkansas, we still don't have an estimated payment date. California began paying January 3rd. Colorado, no estimated payment dates. Connecticut began paying January 3rd. Delaware began paying January 4th. DC and Florida, we still don't have estimated payment dates. Georgia began paying January 2nd. Hawaii, we still do not have estimated payment dates. Idaho began paying January 2nd. Illinois began paying January 7th. Indiana began paying January 8th. Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana still do not have estimated payment dates. Maine began paying January 2nd. Maryland, January 5th. Massachusetts and Michigan, we still do not have estimated payment dates. Minnesota began paying January 3rd. Mississippi, January 3rd as well. Missouri, Montana, Nebraska still do not have estimated payment dates. Nevada started paying January 6th. New Hampshire, January 5th. New Jersey should begin paying this week, beginning the week of January 10th. New Mexico, no estimated payment date. New York, the week of January 3rd, they began paying payments this last week. North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, and Pennsylvania still do not have estimated payment dates. Rhode Island began paying January 3rd. South Carolina and South Dakota still no estimated payment dates. Tennessee began paying January 3rd. Texas, January 7th. Utah, Vermont, still no estimated payment dates. Virginia began paying January 8th. Washington will begin paying anytime between now and January 15th. We still don't have a specific date for Washington. West Virginia began paying January 3rd. Wisconsin and Wyoming, still no estimated payment dates. And just to clarify, these dates were updated in the last 24 hours, so it is possible that some of you have begun receiving them today, but let me know in the comments if you have. And again, I will keep you posted daily, so don't forget to subscribe. If we don't have estimated payment dates for your state yet, we will have them soon. And don't worry, help is coming soon. And again, Biden has promised to approve an even larger unemployment boost once he's inaugurated. Now, just to recap, if you have not received your $600 stimulus check yet, make sure you go to irs.gov/getmypayment. You can track your payment there. And again, I'm saying this in all my videos now, the IRS has announced that if your portal says payment status not available, you most likely will not be receiving that check and you'll have to file for it on your income tax. Now, with that being said, they are still urging people to make sure they check their mailbox every day. It's going to be coming in a blank envelope if you do get it in the mail. So careful checking your mail. Be careful not to throw this out. Now, Biden has promised not only to approve a massive stimulus, but also approve spending to create jobs for millions of Americans. And he said that he is calling for setting aside concerns of creating a deficit. Essentially, Biden is saying, let's not worry about going into more debt because interest rates are so low and we are in the middle of a crisis. We need to take out debt now to create jobs and stimulus for the good American people. And obviously, Joe Biden agrees. He said today as well, all over America, millions of people are worried that they won't be able to pay their rent, put food on the table, or even purchase their prescription drugs or go to the doctor when they're sick. And guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. Let's cover exactly what's expected to be in this massive stimulus package and what it's going to take to get it approved. Biden has said that his official proposal will be released this week, expected on Thursday. So again, don't forget to subscribe. I'll keep you guys posted as soon as Biden's official proposal is released. But we do have a lot of details from good sources. Those who work for Biden have already leaked a lot of information. First of all, stimulus checks. He wants to approve those $2,000 checks for adults, as well as $2,000 for children dependents. Really good news, because that was in question if he would also approve that $2,000 check for children dependents. And the rumor is that he does, meaning that if you have any child, even just one, you'll receive your own $2,000 check as well as that additional $2,000 check. And of course, to clarify, the most likely scenario is that this check will be $1,400, which would bring it up to $2,000 total, counting the current $600 check. I know it's a little misleading, but everyone's calling it the $2,000 check. Even Congress themselves are calling it the $2,000 check. Pretty much they're branding it that, even though it's only going to be $1,400. But of course, $2,000 total, counting the current check. Now, as far as that unemployment boost, we do expect Biden to propose a $600 per week unemployment boost. Now, let me know in the comments if you like that idea. Biden's been supporting this $600 per week boost pretty much this whole year, or throughout this whole pandemic. So we hope that comes to fruition. He also plans to include more rental assistance, extend the eviction ban, extend the mortgage forbearance, as well as extending that forbearance on student loan payments. Now, he also wants to include a student loan forgiveness. However, Biden does have the power to do this through executive order, but he has said on record that he wants to avoid using executive order as much as possible. Although he's willing to do so, he wants to work in a bipartisan fashion, and he wants Republicans and Democrats to compromise to get this done. So again, that's specifically regarding that student loan forgiveness. He wants to try and have Congress approve that in a bipartisan fashion. Now, this stimulus package will also include more PPP money for small businesses, as well as a Social Security boost. This is a big one. Now, he wants to include a $200 per month Social Security payment boost for everyone on SSI and SSDI. So let me know in the comments if you're on Social Security benefits, if you like this idea. Obviously, these people really need the help. They're already on a fixed income, and everybody is on a really tight budget throughout this pandemic. I mean, just the money we're spending alone on masks and protective gear throughout this pandemic is putting us in a tough situation. But not only that, Biden has also promised to spend tens of billions of dollars for schools to help them reopen safely, billions of dollars to help state and local governments, not only to fund their deficits, but also to keep essential workers employed, and of course, more money to help distribute this vaccine for free. So how exactly is Biden going to accomplish all of this? Because not only does he want to approve this stimulus package, but then phase two is to create another bill to create jobs, specifically by rebuilding roads, rebuilding highways, rebuilding public transit, and investing in green energy jobs, investing in research to not only create jobs, but also help protect the environment. How the heck, first of all, is he going to pay for this? Well, he wants to tax the rich, okay? And I know taxes is a very delicate subject, but I'm just going to bottom line you here. 75% of Biden's tax increase will go to households that make the top 1% of income. So unless you're in the top 1% of households in regards to income, your taxes probably will not go up. And 93% of those tax increases will go to those in the top 20%. So unless you're in the top 20% in regards to income, his tax increases will not affect you at all. But with that said, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I know taxes is a very complicated subject, and honestly, I like to hear both sides of the story in the comments. But we have to talk about Mitch McConnell. Once again, Mitch McConnell could continue to be a problem, not only for stimulus, not only for those $2,000 stimulus checks, but also to get that second spending bill approved to create more jobs and get millions of people off unemployment. Now, first of all, I have to point out, look at his Twitter. It still says Mitch McConnell, Majority Leader. I think we all know he's now the minority leader. It'd be funny to see how long he keeps that up, right? Because Mitch McConnell kind of strikes me as a guy that doesn't update his social media very often, but I just had to call him out there for that one, right? But will he be willing to approve these $2,000 checks? Because everyone has said, you know what? Democrats won the Senate seats in Georgia. We don't need Republicans anymore. Well, Mitch McConnell will continue to be a problem, and here's why. Although he cannot completely stop the $2,000 checks anymore, he can slow them down for months, and I'll explain why. Basically, through a filibuster. If Mitch McConnell decides to filibuster, he will delay this for months because Democrats will be then forced to try and approve these $2,000 checks through a loophole called budget reconciliation. Now, you're going to be hearing that a lot in the next couple of months. Budget reconciliation. Now, this is a loophole that both Democrats and Republicans use to pass legislation to avoid being filibustered. Now, Trump has used this to pass his tax cuts in 2017. Obama used them as well to pass Obamacare in, I believe, 2010. So this is nothing new. This is a loophole that both Democrats and Republicans purposely keep in place to help them avoid the filibuster. And without 60 votes, Democrats will not be able to beat that filibuster. So basically, here's what we're looking at. Is Mitch McConnell going to be willing to compromise with Biden? And I know you're probably thinking, well, McConnell wouldn't even compromise with Trump, who is a Republican. But guys, we do have on record that Mitch McConnell genuinely likes and respects Joe Biden, and that feeling is mutual. These two, it almost seems like they consider each other friends, to be honest with you. I mean, Mitch McConnell was the only Republican who went to Joe Biden's son's funeral, and they're both on record multiple times as saying that they enjoy working with each other, they enjoy getting deals done, and when they do work together, deals do get done. So best case scenario here, Mitch McConnell will get on board, he'll help approve these $2,000 checks, and we'll get them in the next few weeks. That's best case scenario. Now, worst case scenario, McConnell filibusters, at which point we might have to have Democrats use the budget reconciliation, but that will take a few months, and that is why these $2,000 checks will get delayed. But not only that, McConnell has signaled that he might even be willing to help get Donald Trump impeached. And we all know that Pelosi in the House is moving to impeach him next week, but then they'll need 60 votes in the Senate to get this done. Now, a few Republicans are already on record as saying that they'd be willing to do so. And McConnell said, the ultimate blame for yesterday's events lies with the unhinged criminals who tried to disrupt our government and with those who incited them. Guys, I want you to focus on that last part of that sentence, and with those who incited them, because we all know what social media and the mainstream media are all saying, right? Trump incited this violence. Now, Mitch McConnell used that same wording. With those who incited them, those are ultimately who are to blame. And McConnell is also on record as saying that he hopes he never speaks to Trump again. He is on record as saying that. He said, I hope I never have to speak to the president again. And a lot of people don't know this, but McConnell's wife actually worked for Trump in the White House and immediately resigned. And McConnell is not the only Republican who has signaled that he'd be willing to get Trump impeached. Senator Pat Toomey, who is Pennsylvania senator, Republican senator, has said that the things that Trump has done are impeachable. So we already have 3 or 4 Republicans basically insinuating that they would be willing to impeach Trump. So that is on the radar, guys. And let me know in the comments, do you think Trump should be impeached or do you disagree? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But circling back to that $2,000 stimulus check, again, hopefully Mitch McConnell will be on board. We do have a lot of signals showing that he might be willing to compromise with Biden, especially because Biden is willing to throw things in that McConnell wants. He wants to compromise. He wants to get this done at a bipartisan level. And it is also rumored that Biden would be willing to throw in things like liability protections for small businesses, which obviously McConnell it's something he really wants in that bill. We might have bigger trouble here, guys, because a couple of moderate Democrats have already said that they would not want to approve these $2,000 checks, which would put us in a situation where Democrats would need even more Republicans to get this deal approved, okay? Now, Senator Joe Manchin, he is the senator of West Virginia, a Democratic senator. He said yesterday that he absolutely opposed Biden's $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, guys, let me know in the comments, are you from West Virginia? Let me know if you like this Senator Joe Manchin. I can't imagine why he would not want his people to get these $2,000 stimulus checks. Now, of course, this senator faced a lot of backlash and quickly walked it back and said, you know what, I would consider it. I would consider the $2,000 checks. Now, it's unclear if he walked it back because of public backlash or because Joe Biden spoke to him. Now, Joe Biden has been behind the scenes kind of pulling the strings, and he's really good at working with all these senators to getting things done. So some people are saying that Biden actually spoke to this man in private and told him, you know what, let's get this deal done for the good American people. But we'll have to wait and see exactly what comes to fruition. But Biden has said that with all the chaos that came out this week, he actually thinks this chaotic situation might foster a more bipartisan relationship between Democrats and Republicans. And he actually praised Mitch McConnell for disavowing Trump and disavowing what happened this week. And Biden went on to say that he believes that he and McConnell can work together to get this deal done. Let's take a look and see what Biden said.
And you have called for unity and healing in this country, but after the events of Wednesday, does that make your job easier or harder?
I think it makes my job easier, quite frankly. I've had a number of my Republican colleagues, former colleagues, I used to serve in the Senate for a long time, call me. Many of them are as outraged and disappointed and embarrassed and mortified by the president's conduct as I am and Democrats are. And I think I have said from the beginning, and I have not changed my view, my overarching objective is to unify this country. We must unify the country. And I think that you've heard me say this before, and I apologize for repeating myself, but understandably the questions are repetitive and good. I mean, I'm not being critical of the question. And that is that there's 2 ways people are inspired: by inspirational leaders and by terrible leaders. By terrible leaders. What this president has done is rip the Band-Aid all the way off to let the country know who he is and what he's about and how thoroughly unfit for office he is.
All right, guys, so let me know what you think about what Biden had to say. Obviously, he took some shots at Trump. Let me know if you agree. But again, if you made it this far into my video, thank you so much for supporting my channel. I will keep you updated on that $2,000 stimulus check, as well as that unemployment boost payment dates for every single state for the current unemployment boost, as well as that next unemployment boost that Biden plans to approve as well. Guys, but thank you so much for watching my video. I really appreciate every single view. I'm trying to go full-time on YouTube. We've made it all the way to 45,000 subscribers, and that is thanks to you. I really, really appreciate your support. I know a lot of you have been watching me since I literally had 0 subscribers, and here we are at 45,000. Halfway to my goal of 100,000 in order to be able to go full-time and make these videos 2 or 3 times a day and be able to share the news and updates with all of you every single day. But guys, thank you so much. Stay strong out there and make sure every single day you just try and make it 1% better than the last. Stay strong out there, and take care.